episode of Time Capsule Podcast, we have with us Vikram sir, who is a co-founder of the Yellow Straw. He's a fitness lover and is also a chief consultant at Whiteout Services. Welcome to our podcast, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
So we have a so-called ritual in our podcast where we time travel to the previous years and we want to know a history about yourself. So we want to particularly know about the history of the Yellow Straw. That what inspired you to start this venture?
Inspiration was always fitness, and me and my partner.
Yeah.
So I am more towards the I would say I'm a fitness enthusiast, and Piyush is a foodie.
Yeah.
It's a great combination. The kind of business what we are seeing today is a combination of these two. During back 10 or 12 years back, I was into job, Piyush was also into job, and we always had a craving to start our own business, and we always used to think what is the best possible way.
Yeah.
And fortunately or unfortunately, the company which I was working, they decided to move out of entire Asia Pacific, and that was where my comfort zone, I was out of my comfort zone and decided this is the best time to start my own venture. And while discussion with Piyush, the best thing what we figured out, Calcutta mein, why there is no juice wala, and before starting our business, what we did a survey. It was a 9 months of R&D, and during the discussion, most of the people, I would say 70 to 80% people discouraged us. Why? They were pretty sure Calcutta is a chai wala city. There is no juice culture, and Piyush was from Bangalore, and I being a fitness enthusiast, we always felt definitely people of Calcutta, since it's not available, then what they will do?
Yeah.
So the challenge was the non-availability of the healthier alternatives, the juice, salads, and these kind of alternatives. We decided we will go against the mass opinion. And this is the basic premise where we started, and during this 9 months, it was a brilliant journey. So, why a normal juice? Why that normal, that Kalsi type kind of just piece of kind of juice? Why only 2 or 3 kind of options? So people like options, people like varieties. After, why will someone will have on day-to-day basis, why the same Mossambi or the pomegranate kind of juice? So what we try to do, we try to come up with the best possible internationally. That time, I would say, slow squeezing technology, what we commonly known as the cold press, was taking that kind of, I would say, shot everywhere. But in India, there was not even a single player who was doing on a retail format. My partner Piyush went to Delhi and the Kolkata, North India, where the most of the manufacturers were there. None of them were even aware of cold press retail format juices. So we tried to connect with the international partners. Fortunately, in next 2 to 3 months, one of the biggest player decided to move to India. They connected with us, and this is where we started out the Yellow Straw journey.
Wow. Okay. So like.
Fortunes favors the brave, something like that. This is exact that.
But even in that case, some people might do the great hard work, or the people who are brave or went against the mass opinion. But sometimes when you fail, then you don't have an opinion regarding that.
I would say we failed many a times during this business.
During
the Yellow. Okay. So, and the failure is not always a shutdown of business. Failure is I would say, when you come out with your passion, a business is a result of your passion. You always try to come out with the best kind of possible technology, and business is just like a baby. You always think this is the best possible option. You're taking the best possible route, but planning, when it comes to the execution and when you hit the road, then only you realize, okay, this idea is not working. And out of 10 ideas, there might be 3 to 4 ideas which you think might take, can be the one of the best option for this business, and it failed. Then you think, what's my next? So there were lot many failures in this journey, but I think it's the perseverance our courage and dedication which helped us to move to the next level.
Okay. So like, if you're talking about failures, tell me the most impacting or the most dreadful part of the Yellow Straw company that it shook you literally, that, oh, I think this time even the perseverance won't be able to save me, but you did make a company. Here we are. So
let me share 2 examples with you.
Okay.
First example, what we always say, success is always brilliant. So our initial success was we started at High Court location, and immediately, if suppose our target was X, our first month revenue hit was 3x, 5x. Month on month, at least for next 3 to 5 months, we were doing it 3 to 5 times of our initial assumptions.
Okay.
We thought we have hit the bullseye. This is the bullseye.
Yeah.
In next 15 to 18 months, we opened 5 outlets in Kolkata. So this entire 5 outlets, without preparing the back end, that strong back end, and without considering the other options, this is where we took another 18 months to 2 years time frame to correct our back end operations, to rationalize each and everything which will support 5 outlets expansion. A city which have never seen this kind of juice before, and they have apprehension towards cost and lot many things. So from sales to operations, it took at least 2 years.
Okay.
The second, I would say, the failure, or I would say learning, was COVID.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, after all the corrections, we were again on the growth spree, and COVID hit during March, which is supposed to be the juice, I would say, for the beverage industry. This is supposed to be the best months from summertime. We were totally invested in our business. We were leveraged into our business because the kind of outlets we were planning to come out, and all of a sudden COVID. And today we can say lot many things about COVID, but the time when we hit by COVID, we thought business ka kya hoga? We were leveraged, we were into debt, we were almost into the growth path. In next 7 to 8 days, we were thought, let's wait and watch. What we realized, now most of the people are at home, why will they order juice?
Yeah.
So the family, means whether it is mom and at that point of time, people were very, very conscious about their health.
Yeah.
They might need juice, but they will prepare at home. And the culture-wise, what we have seen, that people, most of the family were becoming either chef or the players. So they were online game, or the people were trying to make their food were one of the leisure item. We started, what was the biggest gap was the raw material. And our forte was fresh fruits.
Yeah.
So we got into fresh fruit supply online.
Okay.
And that was the killer. That was our survival point. Because of that, for the next 6 months, we survived, we make some profit, we have been able to retain all our employees. Because the idea was not the survival of the business, the idea was the survival of the 60 families who were working with us. And all of the employees were very happy with our entire this decision. And once that COVID was easing out, when we were more familiar, when we came to know this how to handle COVID, then we again pivoted back to our main business, and we scrapped online fruit selling business. And this is the time when even the normal people, be it Gen Z, be it millennials, be it the oldies, everyone become aware towards the healthier alternatives. You can have indulgent food anytime, anywhere, but at the same time, one of your meals should be healthy. People will party, but they will love to have their healthier food. This become one of our biggest, I would say, jump board post-COVID. One of the, I would say, we have done reasonably very well post that.
Great. Okay, so you talked about your 9 months phase, that R&D phase.
True.
So in that R&D phase, what we usually perceive in a podcast, or when someone tells us about कि मैंने R&D किया अपने business start करने से पहले, so is it usually that our whole business, if we are starting a business and when we do R&D, it should be completely on data and statistics?
I think data and statistics are very important role. They play important role, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But when you start your business, a business is about your dream. Means what you always thought about. You want to give shape to your dream, and that is where I would say business intuition comes into play. Let me share another one anecdote from our side.
Okay.
So what happened during 9 months? Whenever, as I told you, 70 to 80% people said कि Calcutta में juice कौन पिएगा? It's a चाय वाला city.
Yeah.
50 रुपए में यहाँ पे जूस कौन पिएगा? We were very skeptic. Everyone is saying यहाँ पे 50 रुपए में कौन जूस पिएगा? We started at very lower pricing. And from the business formula point of view, there is a ratio from raw material to your selling price. It was skewed, and we just thought, let's start, then we'll take the call. We started at a very low selling price, and the ratio was not in favor of business
that
proposition.
this can be sustainable.
The moment we launched, people loved it. And believe me, ratio-wise, at least 70% people during their comment always used to say, This is super value for money. How come you are selling it at a so low price? Once you launch your product, you can't increase your price within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You have to give, since people are used to your certain pricing, however good your product is, you can't increase it by 50% in the next 3 months. You have to give it a certain pace.
Yeah.
And that pace took us at least 1.5 years to reach our business sensible pricing.
Okay.
So I would say data is very important, but at the same time, your business intuition is equally very important.
Okay, great. So even when we are checking out your LinkedIn profile, it said that what's a better closure of a financial year? Having a better team. And like you said, in your COVID time, you wanted to help those 60 families, your employees, right? So how important it is to have a better team? Like, does it really act as a catalyst in your venture?
Business without team is not possible.
Okay.
So team starts, suppose if either Piyush or me started with silo, single-handedly, impossible. The yellow straw would not have been possible without two of us. I can never think this business without Piyush. This is about the initial partnership.
Yeah.
Now let me think this entire journey. The kind of team what we have, without team you cannot grow. Matlab, it's a bottom line. This is, it can be carved on stone that team is utmost required for a business growth.
Okay. So how important do you think mentors are in your life? And did you have any mentor for this yellow straw or any other venture you wanted to start?
When you say mentor, I think mentor is always required. So when you are in childhood teachers, and so I look at always like that way.
Yeah.
If you are a learner by nature, you will find mentors. One of my strong philosophy, I suppose, when I was in 20s, I always used to look forward to the people who are more experienced than me. I always look forward to the people who have, achieved something, and would like to inculcate their learnings and their experience in my day-to-day activities, so that I can also learn from them.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm in my 40s, even today I have mentors who are in their 50s, 60s or 40s, my contemporaries. But at the same time, I strongly believe one of my mentors, when I'm in 40s, one of my mentors should be from 20s.
So that you can even know about the current generation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're in 40s, you're loaded with experience. The problem with experience, and many people don't realize that experience comes with ego. And when you're so overpowered with experience, you don't try to learn. Learning at the same, whether it is Gen Z, millennials, when the communication, the kind of change what we have seen in last 20 years, last 25 years, what communication has done, means what mobile data, means now everything is available everywhere. Even if you want to study something, you don't have to depend on any of the institute. You can just through YouTube or any of the channel, you can learn yourself. So this is where I believe the mentors are very important. If you want to learn, you need to have someone whom you look forward, and that flexibility is equally very important. So age-wise, it's always good to learn from your youngsters.
So okay, before this podcast, we were having a talk in the office, and you said you started your first business in class 10.
So that was a very accidental kind of, I would say, entrepreneur strength. So once you are in class 10 during our days, so there was a holiday of 3 months. One of my friend's brothers started mobile phone business. It was a very nascent stage, 96, 97, it was a very nascent stage. He just asked me, if you need any mobile phone, or just let me know, we will have some commission for you. I just shared with my friends, family, and within my network, and one of my friends asked me, I need 2 connections. I passed on that information to my friend. He did entire footwork, and everything was done by him. And by the end of I would say within a week, I got a paycheck, cash of 5,400 approx. What will I do with this kind of money? Means my monthly expenditures were not even 500 rupees. I was overwhelmed. And when you have a right intention, people approach you. And with very limited kind of my interactions, whoever have I interacted with, they referred to me their friends and family. So within 2 years, the kind of business it was shaping up, I had to start my own sole proprietorship firm from my college days. So from my father's shop, I started my sole proprietorship firm. Even that was, I would say, ahead of its time. At that time, it was more about the cash kind of purchase, and there were very few people who used to take from the bill kind of handsets. I was one of the preferred the retailers of the Nokia at a very initial stage. So that was accidental entrepreneur, you can say,
Okay.
but brilliant experience.
Yeah, you actually build up a huge network because people got to know the kind of person you are, and that really helped you grow in your future business aspects.
The learning is you need to be smart, no doubt about it. But if you want to have a fair value of business, you need to be honest as well. So suppose मेरे बचपन में there was a कहावत कि एक गंजे को कंघी बेच देता है, something like that. So and people used to think he's very smart.
Yeah.
But nowadays, if you think someone who is so smart जो गंजे को कंघी बेच देगा, something that kind of smart, street smart, fruit smart, जो भी नाम ले लो उसको, you will not try to maintain that relation with him. But same time, someone who is very honest, you will try to hang with that for lifetime. So honesty is very, very important in your, be it your social circle, be it your business circle. You need to be honest with your business, with yourself.
Okay. So being a fitness lover, and apart from doing exercise in a gym or something like that, what are your tips on choosing these healthy eating habits?
Mindful eating is utmost important. So I won't say go.
What is mindful eating?
So the mindful eating is you should know what you want to eat without compromising too much on your taste.
Okay.
So suppose if you want to eat fruits, what is the best time to eat fruits? Suppose if you want to have, cheese-based pasta or something like that, you should not compromise on your taste, but at the same time, the portion size, when you want to eat, and if I'm eating indulgent food with high calories and lot many other, might be negative impact on health, what are the corrective ways? How can I correct it? So whether I'm doing my exercise, whether I'm cutting on my sugar, whether I'm doing my regular yoga or whatever. So every time if I'm having after each and every heavy meal, what I do, I just walk for 5 to 10 minutes. Every 2 hours, I just stand up and do my stretching and this is something if whenever you think ye kaise hoga, it's just nothing. You just need to. So there's one brilliant book which is known as Atomic Habit. There's habit stacking. What you can do near to your desk or wherever it's possible, just put a stick on or on your mobile. There should be a reminder.
Yeah.
So these are the powerful tools, very simple tools. You just need to inculcate these simple tools. You don't have to replicate anyone's smart hack or smart diet chart. You need to take care learnings from them and need to modify as per your habit. So one cannot, mine can't replicate Vikram's daily lifestyle. I can't replicate yours, but definitely I can learn something from your daily lifestyle. Even if I can pick one and if I try to inculcate in my daily habit, that's good. And over a period of 2 years, 3 years, you will see that you have a changed personality, a good changed personality, a positive changed personality.
Okay. So before we move on to our theme, I have 2 quick questions for you. What are the common mistakes one makes while managing their wealth? And how should they, what would be your tip if someone wants to manage their wealth or invest in a proper way?
Wealth management. The biggest step I would say, since most of your audience would be from the Gen Z kind of category, you start. Amount is insignificant. Discipline is more important. You don't need to smart. You don't have to be very smart to accumulate wealth, to grow wealth. You need to be very disciplined. You need to be very process oriented to grow your wealth. Discipline will overtake any kind of smartness if you're disciplined, if you're process oriented.
Yeah, there's a quote that consistency beats talent every time.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So you don't need to have motivation every day, but you need to have discipline. A disciplined small step, a baby step will cover entire journey.
Okay. And the second question would be a little personal, but what are your parenting tips regarding if suppose, okay, for example, if I would say that a Gen Z is supposed to be a kid now, like he's supposed to have a kid. So what are your parenting tips to them? Because you are the father of 2 kids.
Yep, one is in class 12, one is in class 10. Both will give their board exams this coming March.
Yeah.
So parenting tips, if you ask me, means most of my contemporaries of my age, they have a very cordial and friendly relation with their, I would say, kids.
Yeah.
I would say friendly and cordial relation is utmost important, but at the same time, don't need to be mentor or parent, but you should know where to limit it. So kids always need that kind of hand holding. They look up to you, and whatever you do in front of them, they will imbibe
Yeah,
in
that's how
themselves.
they shape like.
That's how they shape. And when they look up to you, you should know how to convey them in their, within their periphery. They would be able to absorb it. So definitely a high tone, rough kind of language will never go work with them.
Definitely.
My experience with whenever I see my kids, friends and everyone, they are very smart guy. You just need to make them understand what is good for them, what might not be good for them, and let them pick it. As a parents, one should not be very protective. They need to take their steps. You can't always tell them, "Yahan pani mat piyo, wo mat karo," but don't
Let
get
them learn
into us.
from their mistakes,
Yes,
basically.
and
Yeah.
let them build their own immunity as well, be it physical, be it mental.
Yeah. Okay, so one more question for you. Why the name Yellow Straw?
Interesting one. So when we started, the other options were the green straw, the healthy straw.
Yeah.
Very cliche. Matlab, people will immediately understand it has something to do with
Fitness
fruits or
and healthy
fitness or
eating
something
habits.
like
Yeah.
that. We wanted to have some fun as well as some meaning to it. So fun. If this would have been green straw, you would have never asked me. Likewise, many of the customers come to us. Why? What is this? The yellow straw? It really worked for us. So we were very clear. A green straw, healthy straw, काम का नहीं है. It will not give any kind of fun to it.
Yeah.
So that is the reason. Then it can be red, purple, anything. Like yellow is bright color.
Yeah.
So as a brand also, it will make great sense.
Hmm.
Then the other story, what we tried to create around yellow was color of sun, fruit ripes, and all those.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Okay. So coming to our theme, which means bridging the gaps between Gen Z and millennials.
Okay.
Okay. So Gen Z is usually interested in short-term investing rather than long-term investing. जहाँ पे दोनों अपने जगह सही पे हैं, but what are your views on that? That should they prefer long-term investing because, like you said, kids marriage. जैसे पहले millennials
So
सोचते थे.
what I want now, so be it short-term investing, be it long-term investing, it's whatever one do,
Yeah.
they should be cognizant of the fact that what they are doing. What are the risks? What are the return attached to it? If someone is aware about their action, then it's okay.
But long-term थोड़ा safe हो नहीं हुआ.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So instead of judging whether long term is right or short term is right, so if anyone who is doing it, if he's aware about the consequences, it's absolutely fine. Obviously, what you said, longer term make great sense. It hedges the risk. So these are the certain facts. But someone who is doing at a very initial stage, starting is important. That initiation is more important to me. And within few years, few weeks, few months, he will learn. He or she will learn. Once they will learn it, they will try to improvise it. This improvisation in next 5-7 years
Yeah.
will get them to they would be able to summarize with their experience what is good, what is not, and definitely they will take the
Yeah.
right path.
They won't make the same mistakes again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So trying to avoid mistake from day one is a sure shot failure. You should start with 70 to 80%, I would say, preparation, and just start. And during the journey, you will try to improvise. You will try to make far better than what you have wanted to do on day one. 100% perfection on day one is a killer. One should not go for it.
Okay.
To start, that is the main idea.
Okay. Do you think Gen Z is into fitness?
Yes, no doubt about it. They are very well informed. So Gen Z, that's what I'm saying.
But
So,
why then people do have assumptions that we are quite lazy or we take the a smarter way rather than working hard because that has its ifs and
the
buts.
problem with
Yeah.
smart work and hard work, people always consider the lazy thing, doing lazy thing is smart work. I don't think so. I think doing the hard work, the same hard work, the kind of output what you can get,
Yeah.
the higher output is more important. The same kind of output with a lesser result, everything is okay. So the idea is, this is how I see Gen Z. They know when to party, they know when to study, they know how to get their work done.
Yeah.
So these are the certain things. I would say it's a part of evolution. Something what I have not done, it doesn't mean that it is the best way. Whatever I have done, whatever I have achieved through my principles, that is not a set rules. Someone who is trying to carve their own norms, someone who is trying to carve their own rules, definitely. How my grandfather used to work, my father have not taken the
Yeah,
same
it's
path.
taking the same rules. Yeah.
I have not taken the same path. How can I expect my Gen Z to take the same path? Definitely, they will learn from me. They will
Yeah.
improvise it.
Okay. Um, so like you told me that like when we had a talk yesterday, you told me that Yellow Straw is based out of millennials. You had a plan for millennials. This, but what I have seen that Gen Z really loves this idea, like the aesthetics or the quality, and even the part where Gen Z usually believes in healthy eating or being turning into a vegan. So like, how did you think that it will work for millennial, but it turned out for a Gen Z?
No, so what I wanted to convey, millennials are low-hanging fruit for my business.
Low hanging fruit
So
means,
what happens? Millennials, 25 to 45 is
yeah,
what the business bracket what we look at. They have started earning.
hmm,
They don't depend on any
any
other
other
source
person,
of income. They have their own earning.
yeah,
Now they know where they want to spend. What happens with Gen Z? They have a pocket money kind of concept. With the
yeah,
limited money, they have to incur their expenses would be on indulgent with for their social function, on their healthy habits. On their healthy habits, they try to take advantage that parents will take care of it.
yeah,
And when it comes, I'm talking about the mass. There
mm-hmm.
might be few exceptions. And when it comes to their indulgent kind of product, which is there, who would like to spend their most of the money. At the same time, millennials, once they started money, they want to improvise their lifestyle. And once you want to improvise your lifestyle, health is one of the first
First
choice.
priority, yeah,
So if your health is your first priority, then when I say low hanging fruit, means I would like to target them first. Gen Z is definitely my second level of target because they are the one who will become my future best customers.
yeah,
So, so we do participate in school, college events to make them aware about our products. They love, and most of our reels or the story or the social media, I would say, influence come from Gen Z only.
hmm.
So they are the one who spread our words, and through them, the millennials are the one who buys our product most.
Okay, great. The final question would be, based on the current scenario, we know the world is changing rapidly in terms of technology, medical, automobiles. So, but and Gen Z embraces this change. They are ready to accept these changes because they know it will help them grow and become a better person. But millennials usually resist these changes. चाहे वो Gen Z करे या फिर अगर हम लोग बोले कि that we want to start something and this will change this, but there is like नहीं क्या ज़रूरत है, we are comfortable in this, in that way. Why do you think that happens?
So you mean to say Gen Z embraces technology first, and millennials are the one who hesitates? Is
Yeah,
it? To a certain extent, I think it's not the right, absolutely right. I agree that Gen Z are the first one to embrace the changes,
yeah.
but millennials, even means I'm
Like
talking
for
about my
example, I'll give you
contemporary.
a
Okay,
small
please.
example. If there's a normal juice वाला,
Hmm.
ठीक है, हम लोग को आदत रहा हमेशा से कि वो जूस वाला से बनवा के हम लोग पी लेंगे. And this yellow straw comes in. And suppose now it has been years since yellow straw started, it has built its reputation and all. A Gen Z would be ready to try this because of the aesthetics, the quality, and the word of mouth he has got from his friends. But a millennial wouldn't go for this. Even though इसका quality better होगा, even though maybe low pricing भी अगर हो, for example. They would prefer that juice वाला because वो हमेशा से चलते आए हैं. हम लोग हमारे पिताजी ने हमें वही पिलाया था, तुम भी यही पियोगे. In that concept.
So my understanding towards millennials,
Yeah.
they are ready to change, but I think the pace or the acceptability
Yeah.
of Gen Z is much higher. I agree to it, but millennials nowadays, and I would say post-COVID, at least this is one change where you will see just the survey was what I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
shared with you.
Hmm.
So they are ready to take the change, but they might not be as I would say fast or as quick with respect to take or
The Gen
the
Zs.
accept these changes.
Yeah.
So this is always there. Means the younger generation would always like to try new things. The I would say the millennials would try to stick to their experience based on their experience. Okay, this is the best place what I had. I would like to try to go again. Where the Gen Z would like to, okay, this is brilliant, but let me try other options as well. So these are the certain thing which is human nature. Means I won't find this something which. But if you ask me, so evolution wise, the millennials what 20 years back or the 30 years back,
Yeah.
the kind of change what today's millennials are ready to accept is sea change.
Yeah.
Means
Like even
what we have seen in last 30 years.
yeah.
Today's millennials are ready to take anything
Yeah.
almost.
Even like the millennials, like if we talk of the millennials, all the millennials will have a same mindset. But every year a Gen Z has a different mindset. They are better than the previous year ones. Like birth by
So
birth.
this will so the word generation gap.
Yeah.
So this is what we always see, but the adaptability I would say is getting better with each and every passing year, with each and passing generation.
How would you think if you want to fix that generational gap?
It's getting fixed automatically. The kind of relation today's parents have with their kids, I don't think they have the same kind of relation with their parents.
Yeah.
So it's getting fixed on a very, so why we say that evolution word, that is where people evolve, and might be because of our day-to-day life we are not being able to feel that change, but this change is everywhere.
Okay. I was expecting to answer that time capsule podcast will bridge the gap, but okay, no. But okay. Okay, so here comes the final segment, which we call our game round. And this game round is called this or that. So I'll give you two options and you have to choose among
Done.
them. The first one would be fresh juices or fruity blends.
Fresh juices.
Okay. Classic recipes or experimental flavors.
That's where I'm confused, because for a business point of view, I always have to go for the classy. Means one should, but at the same time, without experimental business, your business would be redundant in few years.
So you have to choose what.
Experimental.
Okay. Gym sessions or outdoor fitness activities.
Outdoor fitness activities.
Supplements or whole foods for nutrition support.
Whole foods are the natural, I would say, ingredient for my health support.
Okay. Long term or short term investment, like we talked.
Long term now.
Okay. So that's the end of our episode, our time capsule podcast. It was great having you, sir, here.
Thanks, man. It was a brilliant experience for me. Love to be part of this, I would say, time machine.
Yeah. Thank you for coming,
Thank
sir.
you. Pleasure meeting you.
Same
Thank
here,
you.
sir.
Yeah.